This is Johannesburg's Ponte City, the tallest and grandest urban slum in the world. Ponte City, Africa's largest apartment block, was once an apartheid-era architectural triumph. The history of Johannesburg's Ponte City apartments is a provocative one. Built in 1975 and designed by Manfred Hammer as the height of luxurious white-only living in South Africa, the continent's tallest residential building soon became a notorious vertical slum filled with crime and poverty. Its signature hollow core repurposed as a trash dump and a suicide drop. Ponte City Tower, which juts over the downtown Johannesburg like a 54-story toilet paper tube, has been a vertical warehouse for South Africa's greatest hopes and worst fears about their cities and themselves. Ponte began life as a posh address for white residents in the 1970s. The building's unusual architecture, its flats all face a gaping open core, lent it a distinct, if airy, and distinct appeal from the outset. But as the fall of apartheid transformed the city center, the building was dragged along with it, morphing into an outsized symbol of violence and decay that gripped parts of Johannesburg during South Africa's messy transition to democracy in the 1990s. Ponte has come to symbolize the rise and fall and the rise again of South Africa's commercial capital. Ponte City is a skyscraper in the Berea suburb of Johannesburg, South Africa, just next to Hillbrow. It was built to a height of 173 meters, making it the tallest residential skyscraper in Africa. The 55-story building is cylindrical, with an open center allowing additional light into the apartments. The center is known as the core and rises above an uneven rock floor. When built, Ponte City was seen as an extremely desirable address due to its location and views over Johannesburg. But it became infamous for its crime and poor maintenance in the late 1980s to 1990s. It has since been refurbished into a safe property. The principal designer of Ponte was Mane Feldman, working in a team together with Manfred Hammer. Grosskopf recalled the decision to make the building circular, the first cylindrical skyscraper in Africa. At the time, Johannesburg bylaws required kitchens and bathrooms to have a window. So Grosskopf designed the building with a hollow interior, allowing light to enter the apartments from both sides. At the bottom of the immense building were retail stores, and initial plans were to include an indoor skis club on the 3,000 square meter inner core floor. The building is located 35 minutes from the OR Tambo International Airport and almost within walking distance of the inner city. During the 1980s, gang activity had caused crime rate to soar at the tower and the surrounding neighborhood. By the 1990s, many gangs moved into the building and it became extremely unsafe. Ponte City became symbolic of the crime and urban decay gripping the once cosmopolitan Berea area. The core filled with debris 5 stories high as the owners left the building to decay. There were proposals in the mid-1990s to turn the building into a high-rise prison. In those days, in the surrounding area, Hillbrow was a vibrant multicultural hub of bookshops and cafes, but not for long. By the 1980s, the middle class was fleeing the suburbs. By the 1990s, Hillbrow, home to immigrants from the rest of Africa, became rife with drugs, poverty, prostitution, gun crime, and urban degradation, and Ponte was dragged with it. This was perhaps the tallest and grandest urban slum in the world, a gravity-defying dystopia that might have sprung from the immigration of a science fiction writer. It is said 2 floors were stripped bare and along with the downstairs parking lot became an informal brothel. In May 2007, Ponte changed ownership and a redevelopment project, New Ponte, was put in motion. David Salvan and Noor Adin, under Ayub's company, planned to revitalize the building completely. The planned development would have contained 467 residential units, retail and leisure time areas. Over the next few years, the Johannesburg Development Agency planned to invest about 900 million rands. And the areas around Ponte City, such as the Ellis Park Precinct project, as well as an upgrade of Hillbrow and Berea partly in preparation for the 2010 FIFA World Cup. The subprime mortgage crisis caused the banks not to provide the funding required to finish the revitalization. The project was cancelled and ownership was given back to the Kempston Group. Since 2001, the building has been a centerpiece for a drive to regenerate the wider Hillbrow neighborhood. The building is gentrifying once again, an almost color-coded gentrification as white people move back into the tower, mostly taking the more expensive upper apartments. The case of Ponte, gentrification is not as simple as elsewhere. Heavy security eases the fears of middle-class residents in what is still one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Johannesburg.